Hi, I'm Jason with RPC Electronics, and in this video I'd just like to give a quick little overview of our track bus feeder boards. There's been a lot of questions on the forums about what are these really for, how are they any better from maybe some of the others that are available on the market. First off, this is just a legalese type of statement, is that when we developed these, we were not aware of any other product on the market that was like it. Whether it was before us, after us, whatever, we were not aware of that. So I can look you straight in the eye, at least straight in the camera, and I can tell you that I was not aware of any other products. So when I developed this was purely on my own merit of, I thought that there was a need for something like this in the market. I made them for myself, for my own layouts, and then people started seeing them and started asking me, hey, you should start making those. And that's actually kind of what prompted us to make this into a product. It was others telling us that we needed to do it, which kind of, again, led me to believe that something like this didn't exist on the market. So, getting that out of the way, let's talk about the first one here is what we call just the track bus feeder board. This is just a single tap board, and the purpose behind these boards really is to give you a very easy way to have a power bus underneath the layout, whether it be for DC or DCC. Basically, we're bringing in our bus from one side of the board and continuing that bus out the other side, with the idea that this center tap terminal right here, this terminal block, is what you will jump off or branch off of to feed to your track. You could feed it to a turnout decoder, stationary DCC decoder. If you're running DC and you can use that DC voltage to power some kind of accessory, you could use it for that as well. So that's really the main point behind these. And the idea is that you install these everywhere underneath the layout that you need to either feed DCC or DC to the track. And I think most model railroaders understand that the best thing to do is, instead of just feeding the track in one or two places, is that you want to spread those feeds out throughout the layout in kind of an even, orderly fashion, so you're getting equal voltage throughout the layout and you're not getting voltage drop. Because that's one of the major issues with model train layouts, especially DC, is that you get a lot of voltage drop from the point where you are connected to the track versus, say, 5, 10, 20 feet away. And it may not seem like 5 or 20 feet, 5 or 10 or 20 feet, but if you were to really go and look at how your track is going, let's say you've got a helix or something like that, there could be 20 feet in that helix, and even though it seems like the helix, well, you know that the helix, let's say, is only 8 feet away from where you're feeding into the track, that helix, again, could be adding another 15 or 20 feet to the run. So, anyways, that's the whole point behind being able to easily this is a very good electrical and mechanical way of distributing that power throughout the layout. So we've got these single boards. We also now have our new track feeder hub, and the point behind this one is essentially our single version on steroids. You still have your in and out on your bus, and this is bidirectional. You could feed this on either end if you wanted. It doesn't matter. And now you've got 6 taps, and this is very useful when you're dealing with something like a yard, something with a lot of spurs, classification yard. I've even seen where this would be very useful in a case of maybe a part of the layout that might have half a dozen or more turnouts that are really close together, and you are trying to feed voltage to each one of those turnouts, to the points or so forth, or feeding to an under-table turnout switch machine, so you're switching with the points. That's where this is very useful. Another configuration this is good for, let's say you've got a fairly decent-sized oval layout, not very complicated, just basically a single line or maybe a double line oval layout. You could take this, mount this underneath the bottom of the layout, right in the middle on the underside, and essentially feed your DC or DCC into this, and then do a star configuration. You would just connect out from this to the various points on the track. Then that will allow you to get that voltage or that DCC signal to equal locations on the layout, and try to eliminate or prevent that voltage drop that is so classic with just one or maybe even two feed points on the layout. So that's where the hub is very useful. I do have a little demo here that I made for when I go to train shows to explain. So here we just have a small little micro module demo thing that I've created here. Just got a single piece of Code 55 N-scale track here, and it's very hard to tell, but there are taps or feeds to the rail here as well as here. They're soldered to the right to the outside of the rail, and obviously you probably wouldn't put them this close together on a layout. You would typically space these out maybe 24, 36 inches, something along those lines. But in this, just for this demo purpose, I've got two taps right here where my fingers are at. I'm gonna flip this over, and you'll see on the underside here, we actually have two of our track feeder boards. We've got, this is about a 20 or 22 gauge red and black wire that we're using as a bus wire. That's coming into this first track feeder board, and then feeding on or continuing on to this next track feeder board. And then you can see coming off these taps, we've got some smaller gauge wire. This is probably about 26 or 28 gauge coming off the taps, going through the surface of this little micro module here, and those are what are going up to the surface and are soldered to the rails of the track. So again, like I said, this is an extreme example of having more than one tap on a particular line, but it's just for demonstration purposes. Again, you would probably have these spaced 24, maybe 36 inches. Maybe you've got kind of a module set up, and maybe you only need one per module. For example, if you're doing a T-track module, obviously you'd only need one of these per T-track module. And so anyways, that's should give you a really good idea of what exactly these are and what their purpose is. And these are available, both of these products are available on our website at www.rpc-electronics.com. We do offer the singles in, well, we offer the basic track feeder board in a single, a 4-pack, 10-pack, and a 20-pack. And of course, as you buy more or bigger pack, price per unit goes down, so you do get a quantity discount for buying more than just one. So, and the track feeder hub board, or the track feeder hub, is currently selling for $10 a piece. If you need more than that, say 5 or 10 or more, contact us. We can work you out some kind of bulk price on those as well. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.